Hi everyone, welcome to another video done by me, which is of questionable quality. Before I start the video, I'm gonna do my plugs real quick. A, I'm associated with Bridge at Home. It's duplicate bridge at home. It's really fun, actually. Like honestly, it's fun. I actually want to play more of it. And B, if you want to take lessons with me, please don't hesitate to reach out. Okay, today's video is going to be a tier list on defensive signals. Um, Tier lists are funny, and it's hard to make graphics that represent bridge concepts. So you get my stupid humor with the tier list today. Okay. Um, I want to talk about defensive signaling, and I'll talk about it with some context. I don't have slides, which actually be useful because you have to visualize certain hands or card combinations. So that would have been useful, but I don't have that because I don't get paid for this. Okay, let's talk about the basics first. We will talk about everybody's first signaling agreement. You might think that's standard carding. You might think that's upside down carding. If you're like young, like standard carding, if you're from 1970, upside down carding, if you're from 2000. But you would be wrong. It would be no agreement. Okay, this is no agreement. I play no agreement a lot because I have to sub in at bridge games. I'm usually a helper or a director, and we play no agreement. It's okay, you know. It's better than some other things you could do, and it's better than uh, yeah. It's just better than some other agreements. So I'm gonna make it B tier. Okay, I would rather play no agreement then play like as in no agreement as in we will just follow our smallest card, although that's kind of an agreement, but when people say no agreement they're probably just following bottom to top, right? I would prefer no agreement than carding randomly and doing it wrong. So no agreement, it's okay, it's the emoji. Okay, then we're going to talk about standard attitude. So standard attitude is the happy face. I'll describe the what the discarding agreement is too. So standard attitude is when your partner leads a suit and you are not trying to win the trick, okay? Um so like your partner leads an ace, so you're not going to win the trick. Or your partner leads fourth best and dummy puts up the ace. So you're not going to win the trick. We can give an attitude signal. Standard is high, I like it. Low, I don't like it. This is, I guess, this is the OG signaling method. You read all the old books. I've read a lot of books, old and new. I'm fascinated by this stuff. When I started, I only had old books. That's the only ones I could find. I found like Gorin books, so that's just what I read. So we played standard carding. So like if your partner leads an ace and you have like queen nine three deuce, you play the nine to say that I like it. Sorry, I guess in the old days they would leave the king from ace king. So your partner leads the king and you've the queen nine three deuce, you have the queen. You really like it, so you would have to play the nine. I think standard attitude is pretty sweet. It is my second favorite carding agreement. Maybe it should be S tier. I'll think about that more. Um, let me talk about its superior, like better looking cousin. Like, sorry, man, like standard carding just got mogged by upside down. Upside down attitude is S tier. I love upside down attitude. In that example, our partner leads a king and you have queen nine three deuce and you have to play the nine. I don't know. What if dummy had like jack eight fourth, right? If dummy has jack eight fourth, we might need the nine because on the last two rounds of the suit, dummy is jack eight. We have queen nine. We're the only ones with the suit left. We need to be able to finesse dummy, right? So the problem with standard is when you like the suit, that means you have big cards in it, right? That doesn't mean you can spare a big card. You might need the big card. So just play upside down. Just get mogged by upside down. Upside down is low, means I like it. So partner leads an ace. We have queen nine three deuce. Deuce. I like it. Like how easy is that, right? You like the suit because you have big cards in it. Save the big cards. Low means I like it. If you don't like the suit, let's say you have 754. Well, you don't like the suit, so you don't have any big cards in it. You could probably afford to play a biggish card like 7. From 754, you could play the 7. Um, if you have 10-3 deuce, you can't afford to play the 10 a lot of the time. Not only that, the 10 should show the 9 or something like that. So it gets a little bit scarier when you have like one big card that you want to discourage with. So then you have to discourage a little bit. So as usual, there are trade-offs, but I think upside down is just a lot easier, a lot more intuitive to play than standard. Now, a lot of people who signal upside down specifically signal standard in one place. So standard still has its place, okay? If your partner leads an ace and you have jack 10 deuce, right? You can't afford the jack. Because like if declare has the queen, you need to hold to the jack 10, right? You just can't afford one of the big ones. You can't afford the jack or the 10. So even people who play upside down like to play standard on ace leads. Some people do that. I don't. I find this situation very rare. I've never encountered it personally, but you can see the technical merit of it. So of course it has merit. Um I just don't bother. I would rather not confuse the other scenario I said where I have like queen nine, three deuce, and I just want to play the two. Otherwise, you have to signal the three, and that's hard to, it's just a mess. So, this is, I don't know if it's S. It's awfully close. They're so closely related, It's just that this one is so much better looking, makes more money, has a better personality, just slightly. This one's fun to be around too. It's just unfortunate, he gets mogged. So I don't know. I'll probably put it in S tier. That's fine. Okay, let's not be mean to standard. Okay, so those are attitude signals only. The next signal is count. I think these are the three fundamental signals. Attitude, count, and then maybe suit preference. Suit preference, I don't have a good image for, and suit preference is very nuanced, so I'll talk about it when I get there. Um, Count. How do you signal count? Um, Count is usually on declarer's lead. When declarer leads a suit, that's a suit he has interest in, right? We don't want to tell him our attitude in the suit. Why would we tell him whether or not we have a high card in the suit? That just helps him, right? He's the one playing the suit. He wants to find the high cards. So often when declare leads a suit, our card is count. And so how do you signal count? You can't, like you could be dealt anywhere from like 1 to 7 cards in the suit, right? So like what kind of agreement can you have? Well, it turns out we can use parity. Parity meaning odd or even. We just categorize our length as odd or even, and then we signal odd or even. Um, as it turns out in practice, if you just try it, you'll realize how often it's obvious. If your partner says even, you might think like, oh, it's 2, 4, or 6. But within the context of the deal, a lot of the time it's very obvious which it is. So it's very powerful. Um, you might worry that you're giving information to declare. My personal advice is that if you're below like world class level, just give count to your partner. Assuming your partner looks. If your partner doesn't look, you should play no agreement. It's pretty good, actually. Um, but assuming you and your partner are looking at each other's count signals, I would just give honest count. Some of the reason is I spent some time as declare. I would look at their count signals wondering, oh, can I take advantage? And the answer was sometimes, but it was kind of rare. Like sometimes they would signal odd count, and I would look at the suit and I would look at their signals. I'm like, I have no idea if he has 3 or 5. I have no idea. I literally could not know. So like it might be relevant later, but a lot of the time like I couldn't decode it. And it just helps like you on the defense, right? You don't know your combined assets like Declare does, because Declare sees himself in dummy. So the defenders, you can use the info, and me as Declare, I'm kind of like that sort of doesn't help me. Um Sometimes it does help. So again, once it will burn you sometimes, and you'll, like I said, if you're not at the highest level, I think just signal honest count and get practice. Another effect, which is psychological, which is I'm a highly mistrusting person, right? I mean, we're playing bridge, and these are opponents. How much do you trust your opponents at the end of the day? Do you trust them, A, not to lie to you, and B, to know what they're doing to give count correctly, you know? So, like, even if you signal accurately, suspicious declarers will may just ignore you and be like, "No, no way," right? So it's funny. So for yeah, just signal honestly for a long time and get used to counting, and then you'll develop your own feel for like when to not give honest count. I would say I give honest count at least 90% of the time. So if you're playing against me, you could probably trust me. See what good that does you. Okay. Um, there is standard count. So I don't know. And there's upside down count. And again, I think upside down just mogs standard. To give count and standard with even, you play high then low. And upside down is upside down. With even, you play low then high. Um, I think the argument for standard count is that it gets you to unblock doubletons properly. Like if you started with doubleton, you will signal high then low. I think that's the primary argument. If it's not, please leave a comment below. Engagement. Give me engagement. I make bridge videos, dude. I get no views. Nobody's watching this stuff. Um, with with standard count, you get to unblock the doubleton naturally. I have never seen it matter. I've never seen it matter. Um, if it comes up that it does matter and you need to unblock the doubleton playing upside down, you just have to unblock. You always have to make a technical play before you even consider signaling. So, first of all, I've just never seen it come up. I've never needed to unblock a doubleton when I'm signaling count. And B, if it does come up, okay, well then you'll have to lie and give the wrong signal playing upside down. There's a C actually. This one is funny. Sometimes on extreme deals, like it declares in 6 no trump, and you give a count in the suit, like you have 2-8 doubleton, sometimes the 8 is too big to signal with because your partner has king, queen, jack, 10, 9 originally, and he will get squeezed if you follow the 8. So sometimes even this obscure little win, I have never seen it come up personally again, but I have seen deals written up where it matters, where, yeah, if you signaled with the 8, your partner gets crushed. So, in my opinion, upside down count, Mogs, standard. Now, so that was the alleged win condition for standard, which is that it forces the unblock from doubleton. Um, the win for upside down is that it's much easier to give count from 4, right? Because if you have a 4 card suit, and if you don't know this, here's your defensive tip. If you as a defender hold a 4 card suit and either declare or dummy also holds that same suit, 4 cards in it, you are the only player in the partnership who can guard that suit. So what does that mean for following? If you have 4, you may be uncomfortable following high. It's just like in standard. When we have more cards in the suit, we may need to clutch them. Like, well, that specifically 4. 4 is that funny number. You have 4 cards in the suit. You might have to clutch every single last spot. So with upside down count, specifically when you have a 4 card suit, it's really easy to play small. You can play small naturally. You don't have to worry like, oh my god, if I play a high card to signal the count, I'm gonna throw away a crucial spot, and that comes up all the damn time, as opposed to unblocking from doubleton. So I think upside down count, Mogs, standard count, but there's such fundamental card name methods that I think, yeah, they all have to be an F. A, sorry, excuse me. I was getting ahead of myself because I was thinking I'm going to make this F tier. There's just not that many tiers. Okay, so we'll bleed. S A B F. So B is we should go up a tier. Okay. Um, this is discards. Okay, you know what? To make the tiers a little better, I'm gonna do this. Okay. Um, so the trash can is your first discard. What this means is on your first discard, you can so it's a discard, so I made it a trash can. And this will be standard attitude. So this is standard attitude on your first discard, telling your partner, "Hey, I like this suit." And I don't want to sound like a broken record. It is exactly the same as upside down. Like the same issues. If I like the suit, I would rather not spend one of the big cards. I like the suit because I have big cards. Let me spend a small card. So if I discard a small card on my first discard only, it's I like the suit. If I discard a big card on the playing upside down, if I discard a small card, it's I like the suit. Playing standard, if I discard a big card, I like the suit. I think first discard attitude is wonderful. I think it's great. These definitely deserve to be S and A tier, but upside down, again, I just think Mog standard. Um, a little more context on this. Often this happens, which is and when you play upside down or whether you play upside down or standard won't matter in this case I'm discussing. Often, if you like the suit, you may not be able to discard anything from it. It's kind of like the count scenario where if you hold 4 cards and you like it, well, you just have to hang on to all of them. So on your first discard, you will have to discard something else. So this is the context for first discard. If you can't afford to discard the suit you like, whether you're playing upside down or standard, this happens. You just discard a different suit. So it's a little subtlety like I like this suit, but I can't afford it, so I'll discard this other suit I don't like and say that I don't like it. So that's something you can do. Oh wait, that's not that. Sorry. Upside down count is this one. Yep. You like my images? Pretty good, huh? Okay. Now we get to the fun stuff. You might think I love all signaling. Well, I've saved the best for last. Let me talk about Foster's, Australian for beer. Apparently they don't even know Foster's in Australia. That's just marketing for for I guess the US is where we see this, and I heard it tastes like piss. Um Foster Echo. Most of you probably don't know what Foster Echo is. I didn't know either. Our Bridge Brawl teammate Cyrus, I call him Coach Cyrus. Um, he looked it up for us. It was this whist player named Foster. He wrote a lot of books, and the Foster Echoes is when you hold 4 cards in a suit, you play second highest to begin an echo to show 4 or to begin an unblock. And then he found some articles. One of them said, "I think the Foster Echo is due for a comeback." Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, come back right into F tier. Good job. This is crazy. Um, I forget what the I forget Foster's first name. He also wrote books, and he had one character in his book says, "Oh, 24 hands of whist tonight. I cannot wait to play this new plain suit echo signal." So there you go, right into F tier. Sorry. Um, if I ever make a carding signal, I will remember not to name it Chung in case I go into the future annals in F tier. Also, like, how many card play techniques are there left to discover? I really don't think there are any techniques left to be discovered. I could be wrong, but there are only 52 cards. You only hold 13 of them. Like, I think our card play is pretty good. Um, Smith. Okay. I feel like I never used to see Smith. I never used to. I mean, like 20 years ago, and I see it pop up more and more now. Smith is a signal where you make your opening lead, and then so declare wins trick 1, let's say, and then leads trick 2. You and your partner's card on trick 2 describe whether or not you liked your trick 1 suit. It's really weird. You might think, like, even just saying it out loud now, even I think, why would I need a second attitude signal in our opening lead suit, right? Like, I already led the suit 4th best or something. Like, I probably have interest in the suit, and I might have been able to give a signal in 3rd seat, right? But sometimes um you have to play 3rd hand high and 3rd seat, so you didn't really give a attitude signal. And so one instance, my partner told me he plays Smith in one partnership, at least one partnership, and the situation was he had 6 and dummy had 4. 6 cards in the suit, dummy had 4. So he led the suit and went small, 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 king or what, ace or whatever. Um, then or maybe sorry, maybe it was a 6-3-2-2. It was 6-3-2-2 around the table. So he leads 4th best against no trump, and it goes small, small, whatever, ace. On the second trick, his partner played a signal saying, "I liked your first suit." So this allowed opening leader. It's like, well, why would partner like my suit? He must have a doubleton. So when he came in, he played a second small round of the suit. So the first one went small, 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 ace, and then went like small, 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 king. And now he was able to cash the suit, you know? Like, it's possible that maybe your partner has a singleton. If you play the suit again, you'll finesse yourself. So Smith allowed him to work that out without guessing. Um, that was a lot of words for me to describe a win case, and I'm going to put them in B tier. I don't like this signal, man. I really don't like this signal. Um, Upside down Smith and standard Smith are just like the size of the card you play is still your attitude for the first suit. So it's kind of irrelevant. Um, in fact, yeah, I think it bears no relevance. Like what this is a completely different suit, and you're just giving attitude to the first suit. I feel like it's completely arbitrary whether you play Smith or reverse Smith. Like, what the hell is the difference? But maybe I just misunderstand. Um, uh, it's too hard. It's too hard for me. Um, what if I need a real signal in the second suit? So then they say like, oh well, if it has to be count in the new suit, then it's count. I just I don't want to deal with this. Let me just take my best guess. Often I think it's fine. Like you don't need a second signal in your first suit, is my opinion. Of course, there are these edge win cases, and maybe more experienced Smith signalers. Whoa, that's hard. Um, will have a much different opinion of this, but I find it very difficult. I would rather put together a picture of the hand faster. That'll be what happens if we give count at trick two, right? I will get a faster picture of the hand than just knowing what to do in my own suit. Yeah, and like, yeah. I just feel like you don't need it. And half the time, partner is the one who wins the first trick, like gets in first for your side, and he just returns your suit. So I mean, I guess you could tell him, no, don't return my suit. But I mean, just this is crazy. I can't do this. That's too hard. Um, let's talk about suit preference. This is suit preference. There are a lot of different kinds of suit preference. I didn't think this through. There's Trump suit preference. There's coded suit preference. There's regular suit preference when delivering a rough. There's suit preference when dummy shows up with a singleton. And you could play standard or you can play upside down. There is no technical merit to upside down. You play upside down just to confuse your opponents. Um, so it feels a little scummy, but I mean, I'm just gonna leave them down here. How was that talk? Was that good? Did you like that? That was pretty good, right? Okay. The last two signals on my list are Laventhal. Those are the three trash cans because usually there's a Trump suit and then there's three plain suits, right? So you have three trash cans, three buckets of plain suits. Um, Laventhal is partner. I dislike the suit I discarded. And if I discard a high one, I like the high suit. If I discard a low one, I like the low suit. This is trash. This is complete garbage. This is unplayable. If you are from the UK, they call this McKenna. Yeah. You put this the McKenna F tier, Laventhal F tier. Put the trash cans in here. This is just terrible. It forces you to make an awkward discard sometimes when you don't want to. So the first thing is if you are inexperienced with this, or if you haven't planned ahead, you will give unauthorized information to your partner because you will show that you have trouble discarding. And because you can't just discard something neutral, right? Your signal must convey two pieces of information. I do not like this suit, and I like this other suit. It's a nightmare. You've constrained yourself into showing something you may not have wanted to show, or that you cannot show because you cannot discard anything safely. If you are standard or upside down, you have much more flexibility with how to discard because it only conveys information about one suit. With McKenna or Laventhal, you are just if you don't have the perfect card for the situation, I guess you suffer. I guess you just tank and then give your partner unauthorized information and then give the signal and then they'll get it and like, yay, I gave UI. Now we'll get it right. How do you feel about yourself? Like, come on. Okay, this is odd even discards. So yeah, in the US we call this odd even. I believe in the UK they call it DODS, discard odds. This is exactly the same as Laventhal. This agreement is if you discard odd, you like the suit. If you discard even, you don't like the suit. If it's high even, you like the high one. If it's low even, you like the low one. Throw this in the trash, man. Just get this out of here. Don't ever play these. Okay. So don't play Foster's. Don't play Laventhal. Don't play or McKenna. Don't play Dodds or what was it called? Odd even. No agreement's pretty good. I don't like Smith, but yeah, my partner gave me. Oops. Oh shit. Oh my god. Okay, end the video. Thanks for watching.